after day after day. All right, Mr. Pigs, come sit right here.
I'm videoing.
And something began to happen. Hey, Michael, do you have any money? No. And so Michael, he didn't have anywhere to go at night. And so he would, in the middle of the night, he would get right between the two pigs. And that's where he would sleep. And, you know, it was okay until, you know, like one of the pigs would roll over in the middle of the night and kind of squish poor Michael. And I mean, after a while, Michael started smelling like the pigs. Everybody said, Kiwi. And Michael didn't have any money for a haircut, so his hair began to grow really long and disgusting. And you know, it was really, really sad. Everybody said, poor Michael.
Poor Michael.
Listen, I want you to listen real close. Everybody look right here at me.
Listen, turn around.
You remember Daddy? Shh, everybody listen. How many of you remember Dad? You know what? Every morning Dad would get up out of his chair.
I can't even pick up his hand.
And Dad would walk to the edge of the porch. And Dad would look as far as he could see. And he would wait for Michael. You know what, guys? Every day that Dad was doing that, Michael was sitting here in the middle of pig pens. And, I mean, he began to smell like the pigs. And his clothes began to get all torn up. And his hair got long. And not only was it long, but it got mud all in it. And one day Michael was sitting there. And he got to thinking, he said, man, I remember my dad's house. I remember that nice big old feather bed. I mean, it was huge. And I remember how in my backyard I had all those cool toys to play with. And I remember when Dad would feed me, man, there would be so much food on the table, but now I'm so hungry. Michael said, I think I'll just eat pig's food. Michael was pretty sad, wasn't he? And he got to thinking, he said, man, I know, I'll go home. And then he stopped and he said, no. Anybody ever maybe got in trouble somewhere and you didn't want to go home because you knew your mom and dad would be really sad and really disappointed? I have. Yeah. Like sometimes I get a bad grade in school and I don't want my mom and dad to find out. Well, Michael said, there's no way that I can go home to Daddy. Dad will take one look at my dirty clothes. Dad will take one look at my hair and one look at all the holes and how I smell. And man, there's no way that Dad can love me. And so Michael thought. Michael said, I know. I'm going to go home and I'm going to say, Dad, will you let me work for you? Dad, I just want to sleep in the garage and you can feed me like bread and water. I don't care. Just let me sleep in the garage and I'll wash your car and I'll shine your shoes and I'll clean the toilet and I'll cut the grass. I'll do all of that. Just please let me come home. Michael thought that might be a good idea. So he turned to his pig friends and he said, thanks, guys. Give our pig friends a great big hand. And Michael began to walk home. And every step that Michael took, listen carefully guys, I'm almost done. Every step that Michael took, Michael was thinking, man, what's my dad gonna say when he sees me? What's my dad gonna do when he finds out that I messed up and I don't look the same and my clothes are all torn up and man, I don't know. And Michael started walking and I mean, he didn't know what to do. But remember Daddy? Anybody remember Daddy?
Yeah.
I do.
Dad got up that morning and he stepped to the edge of the porch like he had done for years and years and years and years. And on this day, he began to look like he had done for so long. But this day, he saw somebody walking down the road. And you know what my Bible tells me? My Bible tells me that Dad jumped off the porch, and before the son could even get to the yard, he ran and he picked up Michael in his arms and he said, "Oh, I'm so glad to see you." But wait, Michael said, "Stop, Dad, stop, stop, stop." "No, Dad, you can't love me like this. Why, I've messed up, Dad." And then Michael began to cry big old tears. And you know what he said? Listen real carefully. You ready? Listen. Shh. He said, "Daddy, I'm sorry." He said, "I'm sorry that I messed up. I'm sorry that my clothes are all messed up. Dad, I'm so sorry." And when Dad heard those cool words, those "I'm sorry" words, Dad hugged him again and he called for the servants, and the servants came. And the servants, they gave him a haircut.